Alright, hey, this is Cam. I hope this video finds you well, and speaking of this video, I've got something a little bit different from anything I've ever tried before. I'm going to be talking over a replay that I had recently in the AMX 5120. And now, the preface for this video is I had gotten this tank recently, actually, and had been using the 100mm from the Tier 8 before this, the AMX 5100. And this is the first game since I saved up the experience to unlock the 120mm. Before this game, I asked my friend Connor, "Hey Connor, what do you think of the 100mm versus the 120 on the AMX 5120?" Because I'd been making the 6 rounds for 300 damage work on this tank at Tier 9 somehow, and kind of been having fun with it, just having that big clip energy. So, we're just gonna see how the 120mm works on here. This is my first time playing with it, and well, I'll tell you right now, fortune favors the bold. And when I say fortune, what I mean is RNG favors the bold. And when I say bold, I mean ridiculous, reckless plays. So slice it how you want. Fortune's gonna favor the bold. RNG is going to favor reckless plays in this game. Now, Connor obviously hadn't responded yet, as I had just asked him right before I logged into this game what he thought of the 120mm. But very shortly after this game, I'm going to tell him, "Hey, never mind, 120mm is great." But still waiting for this game to get going. We can see already that on the other side of the map, we're very understaffed, as the Standard B is facing off alone against a VZ44, a Tiger 1, and what looks to be the T54 E1, all pushing him as he stands alone on the western flank in City. And on this side, our team is off to a really great start, as we have the tanks, but we just don't make the push up the zero line to try and counterplay. And thanks to the first great teammate on our team, the Carnarvon Action 10. Now, you might think I'm kidding, him drawing that fire there, but acting as our meat shield is really going to pay off later, as we are not going to budget our hit points very well in the second half of this game. And so, his being our bodyguard there is really going to pay off for us. Now, I don't know, was that RNG carrying that shell there? I don't know, maybe that one was just, you know, a clean shell that went into the turret of the Standard B. And I'll tell you what, these two, there was no RNG involved. This is just a couple clean shots into object 263. It was caught out of position, and there our team's going to finish him off. And if you look back at the western flank on the map over here, you can see things are only getting worse. The Standard B on our team has fallen, and even more heavy tanks have showed up. The M4Y and the M2Y on the enemy team to really storm through the western flank on this map. It is not looking good over there for us, so we really are feeling the pressure, and that's why we're going to start pushing. Now, as we make our way up, I want to share this guy with you right here. I would forgive you for not recognizing it as the Steam controller. These things are not very popular. A lot of people don't like them, but I actually found myself really liking it in World of Tanks of all things. Now, Cam, why would you ever take a controller, albeit a controller with trackpads, which is why I like this one over an Xbox controller in this game, just having a little bit more control over where I'm aiming. But why would I ever use that over a keyboard and mouse? And well, I didn't really choose it over a keyboard and mouse. What happened a few months ago, I had a boxer's fracture on my left hand, so I wasn't able to use my keyboard with my left hand to drive around. And so I had to use this. Now, I could have held it with one hand and moused around, but I just ended up using this. And alright, back in the game, we dumped one round into the ridgeline, but the remaining 3 find their way home into the T-34-3. Now, I wasn't really thinking very much. I was tunnel visioning and didn't realize that the super high damage per minute TVP 100 would be right around the corner shortly after him, so maybe I should have saved a shell for him. But thankfully it didn't matter, because our team carried us yet again, as they're going to many more times in this replay. But anyway, it looks like we can move out from behind that building as the UDA 16 is falling back. And it looks like we really need to anyway, as they are starting to push our base. The tier 7 M2Y on cap right now, but I'm expecting many more tanks to pile into our cap in the coming seconds. Alright, we're going to go through this field here, and one thing I want you to keep an eye out for is the artillery shell that is going to be important later in this game. In just a second here, it'll reveal his position. There it is! You can see that that shell came from about the K1 location. Pretty close on hit points, fortunately, but with only 15 seconds left, it doesn't matter how few hit points they have if they're able to cap. But it looks like the K91 and the TVP-100 on our team are able to finish off all of their capture points, resetting and keeping us in the game as I get back in position to start unloading this clip. Put one into the M4Y before he's able to get behind the train there, and then we will again reset the capture on the M2Y. And I've still got 2 rounds left. I may not have 6 rounds, but these 2 will be enough to finish off the tier 8 heavy tank. Now down to only 1 tank left in the cap. We have the 274A falling right in front of us just now from a cross-map snipe from our Leopard prototype. Interesting. But we have to look out in front of us as the VZ-44 is coming up over that ridgeline, and I really don't want to get caught reloading. So I'm thinking about backing into the middle here. But fortunately, I don't have to and risk being caught from behind by the E1 as the K91 finishes him off. Unfortunately, the Leopard prototype that put that cross-map snipe into the 274A falls to the UDES, who's a very aggressive player, as he's going to continue to be in the rest of this replay. And I just decided, you know what? Let's just try and dump some rounds into the top of the M2Y's turret. And fortunately, one finds its way home, flying true. And let's just keep holding down left click and firing on reload. Somehow, we find another one into his cupola, finishing off his tank. And there's the UDES up on the ridgeline making another aggressive play. And I decide, alright, we gotta get out of here. The E1 might be in the middle, might be able to get a shot in us as we drive through this doorway. He does. He was ready for us. I saw it coming, but I just didn't want to take the rounds from the UDES. Now waiting to reload before we finish off the E1, hoping he's not looking at us. The K91 actually draws his fire for us, fortunately. Where we were 50-50 to be a one-shot for him. I really appreciate the K91 doing that. I'm glad to see he's still on half of his hit points. Alright, up to 4,600 damage, 4 kills to our name. Leopard prototype getting 5 kills before he fell to the UDES. That was awesome. And now the UDES is spotted by the artillery. Oh boy, poor little Lorraine isn't going to last long against him, as it looks like he's going to finish him off with his ram. And now, I'm pretty well aware of what's going to happen if I try and face off the UDES right now. He has plenty of time to get unspotted, find a bush, and just go hull down using the great angled armor on that tank to bounce around from me and finish me off. As I said earlier against the E1, it's a 50-50 one-shot. Alright, pardon the interruption, but we're back. And again, as I was saying earlier, I want to pressure the cap so that we can get the UDES drawn out on our terms instead of on his. I don't want to be chasing after him. Alright, K91 caps. I decide to set an ambush, and the ambusher becomes the ambushee against the UDES. And really smart plays by the UDES to really keep his team in this. You can't fight RNG, and I guess normally we're used to being on the other side of it, the receiving end of the wrath of RNG, but this is what happens when you can be on its gracious side. 5 kills, 5,000 damage, albeit top tier. Just absolutely ludicrous plays, silliness by me, driving in front of every enemy vehicle on the team for the latter half of the game, and just not getting punished because RNG looked graciously upon us. And now I decide, you know, we're just gonna cap. I don't want to tempt RNG anymore with my 33 hit points, alright? And so that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna finish it out with the cap, and I'll see you in the post game. And alright, here are the post game stats. As you can see, very healthy experience in this game. I must have boosted it or something, but we locked down a high caliber and a defender medal for over 70 base defense points. We pull off a excuse me, a first mastery for the 1,200 damage that we were able to pull off, as well as comfortably more damage than anyone else on our team. all that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed getting to tag along in this replay and just witness what can happen in those few instances of World of Tanks where not only does fortune favor the bold, but so does RNG. And Connor, sorry that I kind of answered my own question in this video as to the relevance of the 120mm on the AMX 5120. Hope you got a kick out of this video. Hope the rest of you did as well, and all of you take care.